The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily the opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statements in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I'm Dollar Will. Let me get my screen share together here, get my chart ready for you. Okay. Talk a little bit S&P 500, do a roundup of several things. Shout out to my Patreon supporters. They know a good deal when they see one. If you want to get your chart game up, get on that Patreon with me. Check it out. $10 a month. Quite affordable. All right, what we got here is the S&P 500. Y'all notice that I haven't really been talking about it, or I haven't really posted anything in the last month because, one, I've been so busy with Patreon folk. Two, I never really thought that this decline was like the big one, or something to really panic about. I think this is just unless you are a trader. You really don't need to be trying to time this stuff like this unless you are studying technical analysis or something like that. You shouldn't be taking this information from YouTubers. Okay, you need to be somewhere studying so you can get this skill on your own. And then when you have the skill, you'll have some idea about when to get out. Like if you were to sell here, when would you get back in, and how long might it decline? How far might it decline? And is this a reversal or just a pullback in an otherwise uptrend? You need some knowledge, some study, some guidance, and it's best to get that with have someone guide you. Because, you can watch YouTube videos, but I tell you, I wasted years trying to teach myself. If I had it to do over again, my whole life would look different right now. I'd be loaded. I'd be loaded. But no, I struggled on my own, because it looked like, it's so easy. But then next thing you know, years go by, But we have an S&P 500 here. In my view, I practice Elliott wave theory, everybody. A little bit of candlesticks. Of course, everybody uses price action, but I'm not one of those, quote, naked traders. That doesn't mean I don't sit around in my underwear. That's not what that means. It means the chart is I use oscillators, all kinds of stuff, okay? So I'm not one of those pure price action traders that just look at the movement of the chart itself with nothing else. The tools are here for a reason. Don't get egotistical about it. You don't get no trophy, for making calls without any oscillators or any other guidance. It's like y'all out here, look, ma, no hands, no oscillators. Use the tools. All right. They're there to help. But here's a look at what I think the price is going to do. And in the Elliott wave theory, we have the concept is that price moves in waves and certain number of waves and cycles, and that completes a cycle. Then you have a correction. And in my view, that these are my idea of the waves of the S&P 500 since this March rise. And so this is the decline from February to March. And typically when your wave, once you make a high, or say something like this, and you gain all of it back, it's rare that the market just rolls over after that. It's pretty rare. I think that we're going higher. I think that from this point forward, through, let's say, the better part of December, at least, if not through the end of the year. But for now, past Black Friday, okay, and Thanksgiving, the coast looks pretty clear. It's like straight money shot from here. Uh, I I see us, taking this high out. That would be the confirmation of my opinion. We first got to take this high out, and that will turn the sentiment. Everybody will take a chill pill and go on and ride this manipulated market up. Maybe I shouldn't say manipulated, but this stimulus is really doing a great thing to make everybody richer. You know. So I am done calling for this thing to crash in the immediate. But when we get up here, like through the end of the year, I'll start preaching fear porn again. So I had to do a lot of studying on this to come to this opinion. But that's my opinion. That it's kind of safe. I think we're gonna run up, have a maybe I think we're going to finish the week strong, okay, and next week have a little pullback, possibly to retest the low from the 24th. I believe that low will survive, and then it'll be pretty aggressive rise after that. All right. There's really not much else to say. Tesla and all the tech favorites, the pharma stocks, those are all the plays, in my opinion, that's going to do well for the rest of the year. So it's not really much else to say about that. So let's look at the all controlling US dollar. See how quickly how short I can make this video. I talk a lot. Okay, so the dollar's really been taking a beating since this is 2019. But actually, from December of 2016 is really how long the dollar's been in a downtrend. That's really it. So we had a retrace here. We didn't make a higher high. So, but I think the pain is over. My long-term view is that the dollar is in a long, it's going to make a significant rise, even take this high out and go a good bit higher. Just in short, how high dollar? I think we're going to come all the way up as high as this peak here in 2008. So what I'm saying is, gold is not your friend. Gold is going to get absolutely destroyed. And that myth of gold is safe, people, that's going to die hard. That's going to die hard. And I think a lot of people are going to become technical traders, because I will be right here to say, I told you so. And leave that barbershop talk alone about the dollar ain't worth nothing, and leave all that alone. Learn how these markets work. The dollar does what it's supposed to do. Okay, it's the base currency of the world. It's not now your logic that you impose says that if it was worth something, it would be going up. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way it works. So go if not me, go find someone, learn how the dollar functions in the global economy as it relates to the major commodities like oil and metals, or energy and metals. Learn the dollar's function and the correlation with those items, and learn. When you learn that, you'll learn why your house goes up in value, and you'll learn about the interest rate too. You'll learn all of that together, and then you'll leave that barbershop talk alone, because I believe people are being set up. People, let's just say, the people who usually are the losers economically, my people, okay? I think we're being set up to buy gold, because all this gold that people are trying to dump, they gotta create a market of suckers to buy it. And that's not a shot against anybody peddling that you should buy gold. Um, I think that the people peddling it, just many of them just don't know. They're trying to uh, put common sense. They're trying to make a common sense argument on something that's more nuanced. It's more nuanced than you can't use common sense on this. You really gotta read and understand how this works and look at charts. And if you don't look at charts, you really don't know what you're talking about. And it's dangerous. So beware, And what we're looking at here, like I said, this is a monthly chart of the dollar. And so it's really in pain since May of last year. But this run is reversing. This severe move down is reversing. And this dollar rise is not short term. But in the near term, we're heading at least back up. Let's get you a date. Back up to where we were like the beginning of July. So, and then the dollar will have a pullback. Now, the dollar bulls, that's me. I believe we're just going to have a pullback and not go below these lows. But hey, I could be wrong. If you're bullish on gold, you need the dollar to finish doing what it's going to do. I think it's going to come up to here somewhere, and then you need the dollar to fall off the cliff so that your gold can keep rising. But I don't see that. I don't see that. Just for perspective, again, people talk all that dollar this, just know that the low in the dollar was in August of 2011. So the dollar has not been, quote, going down. Your eyeballs tell you that this is one big sideways move. Your eyeballs tell you that. You don't need any special education to see that. So the dollar has really just been going one big sideways pattern since like February of 2015. This is one big sideways pattern. Okay. But the low is all the way back in 2011. So this is September, the end of September. In fact, the end of a quarter, which I'm going to talk about that. So last month, August, marked 9 years since the dollar was made its low. But you would know that by the barbershop talk against the dollar, saying it ain't nothing. No, the dollar is recovering from some of this destruction that it had when it declined, started in 2001. So it declined from 2001 to 2011, and then it spent a decade going down and nine years trying to claw back some of that damage that was done. And I do not believe that it's finished clawing back the damage. Okay, so it's got another push to go, and it's gonna hurt. Okay, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt your real estate. It's gonna hurt your gold. Now, these are all just my opinions. I'm just some YouTuber. I'm not your financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes. I'm just some guy hiding behind an emoji on YouTube. So you definitely don't want to listen to me. So, but I'm just encouraging people to read and educate themselves. But I'm definitely not a financial advisor. So get one. And when you read, you'll be able to talk intelligently with them, and you'll be able to ask them questions about why they choose for you to have this type of investment right now versus another. And so when you learn all those correlations, you'll know, and you can tell them, hey, I'm a little bit more aggressive, more adventurous than that. I don't want to put the money there. I want to go full bore, with the correlations, what the correlations show with what the dollar is doing and stuff. So, but yeah, so that's the deal with gold. You see this big giant green candlestick. We call that a bullish engulfing candlestick. Not it sounds deep, but all it is bigger than the one before it. Okay, it's bigger than the one before it, and that's usually what you see when you're about to have an extended move in the other way, in the other direction. Okay, and so that's one of the signals for gold hell, basically gold hell. All right. So whether I'm right about my long view or not, it's too early to tell. So I'm just laying the cards out on the table that I definitely have a bias. But we'll see how it plays out as we go. But in the near term, definitely paying for gold. All right. Let me see. And speaking of gold, let's take a look at it. Oh, I said that the uh, end of the quarter is tomorrow. you know so there's going to be a lot of money. It's this concept that they call painting the tape. Was interesting thing that happens at the end of the quarter. At the end of the quarter, which would is I don't know, are there 31 days in September, or however, whether it's 30 or 31, whenever the last day of this very month happens, whatever stocks were in your retirement account on that day, that's what you're going to see in your statement. That doesn't mean that you held those stocks the whole time. you you just had them. You may have just had them just for that day. I remember I used to look at my retirement account and say the amount was down or negative, and then I would look to see what I held. It would be all these names that had been running higher. I'm like, okay, how is it that I own those stocks and they were running higher, but my balance went down? Then I learned, oh, they play a little game. They put you in those stocks that were like, if the market was going down, they get you out of those at the end of the quarter, so that when you receive your statement, it doesn't show that you were in the stink bombs, that you owned all the stink bombs. It's just like, to play that little administrative game. So you really don't know what you owned, during that month, So I guess, depends on the fund. Some of them have more turnover than other. That's why that turnover number is important. Okay, if it's got a low turnover number, then I guess they're not really playing with it, because you can't really do both. You can't manipulate it and have a low turnover number. So let's see. I'm trying to get to my markups. This thing likes to play games. It doesn't put it. Okay, I think I did GLD. There's also an ETF called GLD. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I think what we're looking at It's pain down to this level. We're going to come back up a little bit. So I think we're going to keep falling. Gold going to keep falling while the dollar keeps rising. Then gold's going to ricochet up. And there'll be another opportunity for people to basically come back to like this general area, almost where it is now, like right where it started to rise. I think we're going to fall down here, come right back up to this level, then like really tank. And we'll see what happens once we get to this area. This will be when the inverse of that point I was saying on the dollar chart, where once it finishes its run, we'll see how if gold just goes higher to new highs or continue going lower. I know I'm saying stuff that's completely opposite to all the cheerleading about gold, but we'll just see. But in the near term, there's like more pain ahead for it. I guess really that's it. That's really it. Don't have really much else to say. I know people out there are interested in marijuana stocks, so am I, but I'm not going to do any videos on it until the price looks right. Right now, it's let me rephrase that. I have not looked at every marijuana stock. I'm using Canopy Growth as the I guess the canary, if you want to look at it like that. That's the largest by market cap. So for those of you who are interested in marijuana stocks, that's why I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it until Canopy Growth falls to a certain level that I'm looking for. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's see. I cover gold. Okay, I cover the dollar. Cover the S&P. That's it. Peace, y'all. Be careful on them streets.